A few days ago, we released the video with the best gaming PCs of the month of October in 2023 and seeing what PC components are on sale. It is a very good time to buy a gaming PC or even to renew some of the components you already have on your current gaming PC. Today, we are going to review the best graphics cards on the market, those that you do not have to buy, and those that you should buy depending on your needs and the offers that come out. We are going to review all the ranges of graphics cards. From these graphics designed for games at 1080p at 144 Hz to super cool graphics designed for playing in 4K. We must also say that today technologies such as DLSS 3.5 or FSR3 from AMD have come out, which are revolutionizing the performance of graphics, and therefore if you already have a gaming PC at home, it is interesting that you try these technologies before making the jump to a new graphics card, since even your own graphics card, the one you have installed in your PC, could take a leap in performance that you no longer need more power, and with that performance you will be able to run for a while longer, at least until Black Friday, which is in a month and a half. But be careful, because we still have very good offers right now. If you want a new PC, or even if you want to renew your PC's graphics card so you can now play at many more FPS, or even at higher resolutions. In today's video, we are going to review the graphics market. But if you also want us to review offers from some other sections such as processors, monitors, some peripherals, leave me a comment below, and among the most voted comments, we will decide if we make another video. Or if we continue with the usual content of the channel, since we already have several videos prepared. Super interesting. We are working very hard on the content for this channel, and we are growing very quickly thanks to viewers like you. So if you want to help us, you can be one of the first 1,000 subscribers of the channel. Subscribe now, leave your comments saying that you have already subscribed, and don't forget to leave your like if you liked this video. Starting with the low range. I am quite clear here, and the only alternative that I see as interesting would be the AMD RX 6600, a graphics card that usually costs around $200 depending on availability and offers. Right now, a couple of offers have run out, so they are around $200 or just over $200, the cheapest, but even at this price, it is still a super top graphics card. A graphic that allows you to play absolutely everything at 1080p. And in possibly high quality and at high refresh rates at more than 60 FPS, without any problem. So without a doubt, if you have a budget of about $600, or if you want to upgrade the graphics and want to be playing at 1080p at medium-high qualities, 60, 120 FPS, I would choose this graphics card without a doubt. And staying in this range, the rival of this graphics card used to be the RTX 3060. In theory, the ones that were competing. The RTX 3060 may perform a little more, but it also costs a lot more. Today, it is around $280, $300. Why am I not recommending it to you here? So basically, you have the RTX 4060, a graphics card that has been quite controversial since in certain characteristics it is even worse than the X3060 series. The previous generation has fewer CUDA cores, it also has less memory capacity, and therefore those reasons the jump in performance. The truth is that it is quite small. This graphic may be a bit better than an ART that is 3060, but it also costs the same and has DLSS 3.5 compatibility. That is why in this model, the RTX 4060, no doubt. I would recommend this graph for about $300, which is what it costs now. The truth is that it seems like a very good option to me, and it gives you the ability to play absolutely everything in high or even ultra quality, and gives you much more performance compared to an RX 6600, around 20–30% more quite comfortably. And with this graphics card, you would already have a graphics card to last for many years, even if you already have a PC built with an i5 11400F, a Ryzen 5 3600. This graphics card will work perfectly with those processors. You will hardly have a bottleneck as long as you play at less than 144 FPS. And the truth is that it is a very good option for $300. The alternative from AMD in this range would be the RX 7600, a graphics card that maintains the 8 GB that the previous model had. And the truth is that it is not superior to the Nvidia option either. This graphics card costs a little less, Right now it's on sale for $250, but it doesn't offer you more performance or more customization options. The Nvidia has better compatibility with ray tracing. It is performing much better if you activate ray tracing, and it also has DLSS 3.5, which has actually given very good results. At AMD, you have already launched FSR 3, which is AMD's Fidelity Super Resolution, the new version of the alternative that AMD proposes to NVIDIA's DLSS. But keep in mind that this technology will be completely free, so you can also use it on your RTX 4060. So in theory, although this FSR 3 works better on the RX 7600, it is not going to be a point of advantage. Honestly, if you prefer AMD, this graphics card is also super well priced, and if not in this $300 range, I would stick with the RTX 4060. Other graphics cards in this low range, such as the RTX 3050, that perform more or less the same as a RX 6600. The truth is that they don't convince me, basically because they cost a lot more, but perform the same or even a little less than the 6600, which, as I told you, seems to me to be the best option in the $200 range. Then we have RX 6500. I think it is much more worth spending that extra on the graphics card. It will give you a lot of solvency, especially for the future, so that your PC lasts many more years. As they say, sometimes cheap is expensive, so for me the best options in the low range right now are the RX 6600 for $200 and the RTX 4060 for about $300, a little higher than the RTX 4060 Ti. The 4060 Ti range comes in two versions. At first, Nvidia was going to release only the 8GB model, but then seeing that it fell a bit short after doing the gaming tests, it also released the 16GB version, which has actually gone up quite a bit. Also, the price is about $500, and for this price. Honestly, it seems like a fairly expensive graphic to me that is not worth it. But Nvidia doesn't have many more alternatives in this price range either. At least the memory configuration is good. It is a graphic that will last you for many years. And the biggest drawback, I think the only one, is the price, which is around $500. I think this graph should be more like $400, and at $400 we have the RX 6750 XT, a graphics card that is super top, despite being from a previous generation, would have a fairly similar performance. Comparable to a 16GB 4060 Ti, it may be a little worse, especially as soon as we activate ray tracing, but this graphics card costs less than $400. This is the best graphics card on the market for games at 1440p, and this is indisputable. Also, now with the launch of FSR 3, since this graphics card is going to be a real pain in the ass if you have this graphics card or if you have a PC that can support it, I think it would be the best option if you dare to go with AMD and not, you just got so interested in ray tracing. If you want a new PC, you can assemble it in pieces. You have in the description the links to the best gaming PCs on the market. Some configurations that I have made myself and that I am updating every day to add the best offers. To play at 1440p with everything at its maximum, we would have the RX 7800. In many situations, the truth is that a graph that costs less than $600 and performs practically the same, so the price, nothing bad. It is practically on par with the 16GB RTX 4060 Ti, although it is a bit more expensive, but it does perform a bit more, at least when you don't have ray tracing activated. In this range from Nvidia, we would have a bit more expensive and the RTX 4070. A graphics card that I really liked, and if you want Nvidia, it can be one of the best alternatives. Nowadays, it is quite strange that it has 12 gigabytes when the RTX 4060 Ti can be offered with 16 gigabytes. But even so, with 12 gigabytes, it is great for games at 1440p. We tested this graph very recently on the channel and accompanied it with an i5 12400F, 16 gigabytes of RAM. The truth is that it was perfect. A graphic that performs super well in 1440p and will also do you great by activating ray tracing in the DLSS and all the new technologies that come out also for editing or streaming. The truth is that it is a super complete, super interesting graph, and today I would not spend much more than what this graph costs, since taking into account that with DLSS and/or with FSR 3.0, you can achieve spectacular performance increases I don't think anyone, unless they have a 4K monitor at 144 Hz, needs more power than this RTX 4070 is going to give you. But be careful, because it doesn't end here. We have a graphics card from AMD that was the star of the previous generation, but has now greatly reduced its price. I'm talking about the RX 6950. It is the graphics card that AMD launched to compete with the RTX 3080 Ti or the 3090 of the previous generation, so keep in mind that it performs very well. It is a graphics card designed even for 4K, especially by activating FSR3, and the truth is that it is super powerful, and you can get it for less than $650. What would an RTX 4070 cost you more or less? It is a beast, and surely when it is well priced, as was the case with the RX 6750 XT, it can be the best high-end graphics card of this generation, despite being from the previous generation. Above, we only have the top-of-the-range graphics of this generation. We are talking about the RX 7900. If you want to activate the ray tracing that will give you a small power boost and the AMD having a bit more VRAM reaching 20 GB when the Nvidia only stays at 12. Something that might also interest you if you are going to be taking advantage of that extra VRAM. And on top of that, even for full 4K, we would have the RX 7900, which is for about $1,000, having a similar performance. Unless you are activating ray tracing. The truth is that they are graphics that are super good, but again, they are quite focused on a very high segment, and people who want to spend $2,000 or more on their new PC or already have a super well-prepared gaming PC for accept this type of graphics cards with a high-end processor, good RAM, a good power supply. The truth is that it could also be a good solution to improve the graphics and add some of these. Nvidia obviously also has the RTX 4090, an absolute beast that makes sense for gaming, but not much either. If you want to play at 4K, then you could put it on your PC. But keep in mind that within a year they will surely release a graphics card and the price of it will quietly drop by $500 or $600, and in the end, it will be surpassed again for the 5090 by a fairly large margin. So in the end, it's a bit like always, the high ranges are less interesting in terms of quality and price. But if you want the best of the best today, it would be that RTX 4090 that I will also leave you in the description, and with this we would have everything for today. Tell me if you like this video, super important, and leave a big like if so, and also subscribe to the channel and leave a comment saying if you want a video, analyzing other offers, or if you want us to continue with the usual content of the channel. That said, we'll see you with more and better content. Until next time, bye-bye.